Yeah, right now I'm a little frustrated because, I've had two black doctors, and guess what? The first one, Doctor O2, you know what he did when I was 7 years old? He told me, he's like, well, hey, why don't you pull down your pants, and then I'm gonna check you for a fucking hernia when he touched my testicles. How many fucking kids get a hernia at 7, Doctor O2? How many fucking kids? You fucking pedophile. And then now I have Dr. Agbana. You know what he did? He fucking lies. He couldn't even detect sarcasm in the video. Couldn't even detect sarcasm in the video. And this is what happened to me under Barack Obama's rape campaign. In the future, this is all going to be revealed, motherfuckers. And you know what? And Sean Combs, you guys rallied behind black men. You know what Sean Combs said to a woman that he liked? Hey, you're like my crack pipe. I'm going to call you CP. I'll just show you the fucking proof. You know what a white guy would say? You fucking or he wouldn't say you, swear, he'd be like, you enchant me. You're like a flower that I want to put in my garden. That's what a white guy would say to you. Watch. I'll show you the fucking proof. I'm pissed off. I've had two black doctors, and this African trained doctor, Dr. Agbana, is incompetent. He is not competent. What did Sean Combs say about her being his crack pipe? So once again, these black guys, they like to use my biology, and they like to challenge me physically when I wear lots of clothing. You are the crack pipe. Wow. You are the crack pipe. That's what he said. Sean Combs, you are the crack pipe. Calling his girlfriend his crack pipe. Wow. You can't make this shit up, right? So why would a woman want to rally behind somebody that sees them like it's one thing like to be like Kesha, like your love is my drug, or like my humps. I heard something, my humps, or I wrote a song called Love's Potion. It's like, I got drunk on Love's Potion, right? And like I knew my wild days were done when the two would become one. I got drunk on Love's Potion, but I wrote that in a song. And you know what? Why would you rally behind a guy that says like, you're my crack pipe, right? You're my crack pipe, right? Not like, okay, well, first of all, cocaine is more expensive. Like it's $80 a gram. Like you can probably buy a gram of crack for like $5. Right, so he called her like a fucking cheap piece of fucking drugs, right? He didn't say like you're like my fucking 8-ball, like in coke. He didn't say that. He said you're like, once again, people are trying to kill me right now. This is quite funny. So getting those people, right? And so anyways, so like he called her like cheap drugs, not like, oh, you're my drugs, like you're like cocaine, or you're like some really expensive drugs. He said you're like my crack pipe, right? Like, this guy's a sexual predator. Like, did you see him? He grabbed her by the hair, and he fucking pulled her, threw her down in a fucking hotel. And as if that guy didn't get fucking life in prison. There's transportation for prostitution. He could only get a maximum of 20 years in prison. I hope that guy never sees the fucking light of day. Again, once the world sees what that guy does, he's a fucking monster. He's a fucking monster. All those people, it's not just black people. All those people are monsters. What they do to people. They're generational pedophiles that rule this planet. And you know what they do? You know what they did when I was a little baby? Because I have evolved biology. They knew at a young age. They knew I was that old. They knew at that old. Another team knew at that old about me. And I'm 47 and a half now. And they pretend I'm a baby, right, to justify a continuation of this. But you know what they did? Like, I got circumcised. So, when you're circumcised, you know what they do? They take the foreskin off. It's like, okay, I'll just show you right here. Like, because I'm a sarcastic guy, right? But I'm in the mental health world. But they say that I have a mental health issue. But the sarcasm shows that I'm a funny guy. So once again, this is like, hey, I'm an uncircumcised penis. And you know what? They cut off my foreskin. So it's like, there's the tip of my penis. But you know what they did for me, Christian Eric Meyer? They're like, hey, guess what? This guy has a massive evolutionary penis. You know what? We don't want him to have a massive evolutionary penis. So we're going to taper his penis. So guess who has a scar the entire shaft of my penis? And you know what? I went to the consent and control board, and the lawyer's like, okay, we could see that I think that they should revoke my client's involuntary status because what my client Christian Myers said was very fulsome, and it isn't clear, cogent, and compelling in that his involuntary status would that he's a threat to himself or another person, and so it should have been revoked. And you know what they did when I requested the written reasons? You know what they did? They're like, hey, you know what? We're gonna go based on fucking hearsay. We're gonna ignore all fucking proof. You fucking monsters. And in civil, I'm gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue whoever the fuck I can. And guess what? Even if I can't sue you at first, you know what? Eventually, I'm gonna be able to challenge the Canadian government. I'm gonna show them how talented I am. You know what? Then you know what that's gonna give me? And I gotta sue them for medical malpractice. I'm gonna get millions, and then I gotta buy a nano electron microscope. And guess what I could do? Then I could show all the nanotechnology you put in my body, and all the biological warfare you put on me, you do to me. And then guess what? Then I get to own your economy. Then guess what? I got to rewrite the fucking Constitution, then sue you then, bitch. Right? You fucking violated me. I should have been out of here May 16th, 2025. It's July 7th, 2025. And look at, I got wrinkles right now, but I'm going to walk to the door on footage here, and my wrinkles are going to disappear because you're a pain in the rear, motherfuckers. Once again, when you're funny and sarcasm, and like when you're funny and sarcastic, like, well, first of all, if you could recognize sarcasm, that's a sign of a healthy brain. But if you're sarcastic, that means you're even more competent. So once again, I'm going to show that I'm on film. I can't look at the camera because they're able to register me that way. So I'm going to just go like this, and then, wow, look at that. Wow, his wrinkles disappeared on film. How is that possible? You mean with brain-computer interfaces and neural prosthetics that they think they could use to violate me? They think that I could sit here and they could fucking rape me just because Sean Combs, a fucking rapist, fucking pedophile, fucking whatever he does. I don't know. He's a generational pedophile. And so I don't know exactly. Well, that's his exact crime. That's what I know subconsciously, but consciously, I don't know. I don't know that stuff, and because I have my system, I'm supposed to have the Canadian. Like, so once again, I came by the window, and where they're supposed to give me internet connectivity, and you know the funny thing is, in the Sudbury Hospital, like when you're closer to civilization, you get poor internet. And you know what happened last night? I handed him my phone, and this guy right here, he mentioned my phone's password. And you know what happened when I got my phone this morning? Because they thought I had a meeting at 8:00. I had 1% fucking battery, and I had like over 50% when I fucking handed him my phone. So you know what they did? The Sudbury Hospital staff, they used my fucking phone, and they didn't even plug my phone. So once again, how is that ethical, Canada? How is that ethical? Like, why do you pretend that you can't listen to thoughts? Why do you pretend schizophrenia is not man-made? Why do you use biological warfare on me? Why do you rally behind people that, like Sean Combs? Hey, you're like my crack pipe. You stupid fucking motherfucker. Right? Why, as a woman, why the fuck would you want to be treated like trash, first of all? Why the fuck would you want to be treated like trash when you got a guy that could do this? Right? And now I'm going to tune in some women. Wow, they pretend they're not okay, then they're not on the list. Wow. They're not on the list, right? They don't make the cut. That's what that means. They don't make the cut. Every one of you, fuck you, that was fantastic. You don't make the cut. Right? In the future, like I run the planet unofficially. So that means I'm going to have debutante laws. Like, watch, this is what women's faces will look like when they smell my pheromones. I'm not taking that. Look at their eyes. Look how happy their fucking eyes are. I have evolved human biology. I'm fucking, my pheromones are irresistible to all women on the planet. So for these women to think that I'm not the star in their eye, right? You don't make the cut. So you know what that means in the future? Like, I'm the only monarch on the planet other than my kids. They're going to be royal. So there's 3 royals on the planet. So you know what that means? I'm going to make, so here's a peace, right? You get peace, and there's no peace in hell. This is what happens in the law of conservation of energy. You know what that states? In a system, energy cannot be created or destroyed. It returns to the system. It changes forms. It transforms. Right, so you don't, like, if you're a person, like if you're somewhat smart, you might have walked and you might have went to go touch your friend or something like that, and you shocked them with static electricity. It's called static electricity, right? Or we could get struck by lightning because we're made up of water, so water's conductive. So you know what that means? We're full of electricity, motherfuckers. So you know what that means? When you fucking die, you transcend. You either ascend to heaven or descend to hell, and that's the fate for all you generational pedophiles. You know, you thought for thousands of years that you could fucking steal people's attributes. You can make them suck at their expense, and you'd be better, right? And you thought that was the case. You thought you could get away with this. You thought that fucking everything came from nothing. Everything came from nothing. How's that possible? Like, the only thing that ever came from nothing was God. God created everything. And you know who God is? And you know what? You know, how could, like, let me see, you built a house with zero money, zero materials, 100% effort, but, and zero money, zero resources, 100% effort. Let me see you do that. Let's see, we'll do the math. Let's do the math. Because these people they rally behind people that are like, hey, you're on my crack pipe. You are the cheapest fucking drug on the market. Right? So let's see. So once again, so you have zero money times zero resources times 100% effort. Guess what you get? You get fucking zero. You stupid motherfuckers. Existence wouldn't fucking happen. Existence wouldn't happen. You're a fucking stupid species thought that the egg came before the chicken for thousands of years, since Aristotle's time. You fucking monkeys. You're primitive fucking monkeys. And once again, who's the smartest guy on the planet? And you know what? Every day, there's like 2 to 10% of Americans. So this is going to be, this would be the same throughout the world, proportionally almost. But 2 to 10% of Americans think the world is flat. You fucking idiots. You look up in the sky and you see a round fucking sun every day. I don't see a flat sun. I see a round fucking sun. And once a month, the full moon, guess what you see? You see a round fucking moon. But you fucking idiots think that the world is flat. So you see a round sun, a round moon, but you think the earth is flat. But you never even fucking did the math. You never even tried to figure it out. You never even fucking thought, okay, I'll just show you right here. This is how stupid people are. This is why I'm the smartest person on the planet. I'm not saying all people, like, I'm just saying, I'm trying to insult the people that have PhDs right now. And, and people like Sean Combs that'd be like, hey, you're my crack pipe. You are the cheapest fucking drug that I could get on the market. So here's the round sun, right? So here would be the flat earth. So here's the sun. Here's the flat earth. So here's the flat earth. So it's like, okay, so the earth comes up in the east and sets in the west. So that would mean, okay, you stupid motherfuckers, the sun would have to teleport every day back to the fucking east. Right? It had to teleport. So it comes up in the east, sets in the west. Right? So it'd be like, okay, fuck, now it has to teleport. Okay, so if the flat earth, so first of all, the stupidity of these people. So if the earth was flat, the sun would have to teleport. Okay, then now they didn't even, okay, so they're like, okay, well, we didn't even postulate or think or quandary such a thing. So now we have the round earth. So now it's like January 1st is like, I get lots of sun. And then all the way over here, you dumb motherfucker, as soon as you get to July, the sun would be shining underneath the earth, right? We know that the earth revolves around the sun because of the solstice, like this. Well, the summer solstice people should have been able to figure it out, but because of the eclipse, we know that the earth goes around like the sun because of the eclipse. We know this, right? But you know what? So once again, you're like, okay, well, let me see. I want to think that the earth is flat, and so I see it comes up over here every day, and then it goes down over there. So how the fuck does it go from over there to over there by morning? You stupid motherfuckers. Does it teleport? I've never seen anything else teleport yet, right? It is possible with quantum mechanics and particle entanglement, but as if the sun could teleport, and then other things can teleport, right? Like, how come the moon doesn't teleport? Right? Like, how come, I don't know, it's just stupidity anyways. So once again, like the fucking earth would have went around the sun, like, here's the sun, and then, wow, hey, flat earth, I'm gonna shine all my sunlight right to you, right underneath you. So what that would mean, because, some people aren't smart enough, so I have to paint the picture for them. It's like paint by numbers. It's like, I got to be really, really slow. It's like for small, like my half-sister Brandy. Like she is smarter than what she is, but with the system, she had technically had a diminished intellect that only 2% of the people are worse than the human population. But anyway, so what that means is, so once again, so as the sun goes, so it'd be for, okay, so now let's see, so July to January. Let's see, so July, August, September, October, November, December, 6 fucking months, it'd be dark. You stupid fucking idiots. You never even did a scientific experiment. never even did a scientific experiment. Because, like, how the fuck does the sun, teleport? Like, and like, there's gravity. Like, we know that there's gravity, right? Because why don't we fly away? Right? So when the sun teleports, how come when it's teleporting, we aren't fucked up? Because there's no gravity. How come we all don't float away? Right? You're not the smartest species on the planet. I am. I'm Christian Eric Carney Meyer. Then my kids are the second smartest species. I'll just show you. There's 3 different humans on the planet. And you know why I got hospitalized? Because I made a video just like this where I was emasculating people. Emasculating means making fun of them. So let's see. You know why? Because this is what I look like. This is what I looked like when I was a kid. That's me at 40. And, you know, that's me at 19. You know what I am? I'm a fucking panty remover. You know what this is? This one of my family members, one of the men of my family, had sex with this woman. And look, guess who looks identical to her, but he's a man. Christian Eric Carney Meyer. My family went to a royal wedding. And look at this guy. Guess who looks like Christian Eric Carney Meyer? He's most likely my grandfather. The last king of the United Kingdom. Other than King Charles. And guess who had a King Charles Cavalier Spaniel before he realized that he could be royal? Christian Eric Carney Meyer. Guess whose half-sister lived on Princess Crescent? Christian Eric Carney Meyer. So wow, that's a lot of circumstantial evidence. You mean, so here's generation 1 biology. So once again, this is a white man. You can see the back muscles, the indentations. Here's my son's back muscles. His name's Chase Alexander Berrymeyer. He has different back muscles than the last guy, and he's a white man. I have to say this because people have augmented reality and brain-computer interface, and they pretend that I'm black in these moments. And here I'm Christian Eric Carney Meyer. I'm a white man once again, and you can see that I have a V for my back muscles. So guess what I did? Guess what Spartacus did? I call myself Spartacus, the Greek god of sarcasm. You know what Spartacus did? Because they had Spartacus. The Greeks they had Spartans, like, we are Sparta, right? We are Sparta, so they had Spartacus. So you know who Spartacus is? It's Christian Eric Carney Meyer, right? So Spartacus, the Greek god of sarcasm, was making all these sarcastic things. So on the day that I was hospitalized, May 5th, and guess who got a letter from, so when I first got here, I'm like, well, who for me? They're like, somebody from the community. I'm like, well, that's strange. I don't talk to anybody in the community, right? I'm about to head out of town, right? I don't even live in town. And then they're like, well, your doctor. I'm like, well, that's strange. I haven't dealt with my doctor for 2 years. They're like, well, a family member. And guess when the letter from the family member was? Dated May 9th, 4 days after I was fucking hospitalized. How fucking ethical is that? So with the Freedom of Information Act, thanks, Trent, I'm going to be able to request footage. And guess what the nurse looked like? She looked like half-sister Brandy Lee Slander. That's not her last name. Her name would have been Diggins, but she has a different last name now. But I call her Brandy Lee Slander because she slanders me. So I'm going to sue her. And guess what? She owns a house. I'm going to own your little shitty house in fucking Blind River. You know that? I'm going to own your fucking house. And then I'm going to tear it down. I don't give a fuck about your house. Brandy Lee Slander, you said I smoke fucking crack. You said the stupid... I didn't want to say it. But the stupid woman, once again, she has an IQ that only 2% of people have a lower IQ than her. Right? My son was in the car with us. She said that I tried to jump out of a moving car when I seen a police cruiser. And here's the proof that I didn't. Once again, I'm Christian Eric Meyer. And my son was in the car, so I sent him an email. I'm like, or a message. I'm like, well, do you remember me trying to jump out of a car when we were with your aunt? And he's like, no, I don't, Dad. I don't remember. And it's like, of course you don't remember, son. That's the right answer. Because if it happened, you would have remembered. You would have remembered what did she do? She didn't even explain what she did. So I tried to jump out of the car while the car was moving. What did she do? Did she take off her seatbelt and jump across while she was driving to fucking keep me in the car? She didn't even make up her fucking lie. Brandy Lee Slander. Right, Brandy Lee Slander. Dr. Obaba. Dr. Obaba. That's what she calls it. It's like her fucking grandkid plays her. Dr. Obaba. His name is Dr. Ogbonna. Right? But anyways, Brandy Lee Slander is not competent. And so... anyways, I have video proof. Every time I see a cop, because I panhandle, because of the Canadian government, every single time I get harassed by the cops, I pull out my camera and I film them. So you know what I was doing on May 5th? I didn't pull out my camera at this point. Unfortunately, because it didn't seem like it was going to escalate. And but you know what happened? I didn't run from the cops. When Car 18 see me on May 5th, there's going to be no footage on their body cameras that are in evidence. There's gonna be no footage of me running when I was panhandling. Why wouldn't I run panhandling? Yeah, and they're like, well, he tried to jump out of a moving car due to his paranoia, but he's quite sarcastic, and that's a sign of a healthy mind, and that's strange. And it's like, well, wait a minute. We said it was somebody from the community, then we said it was the doctor, and then we're saying it's a family member, and then we're saying he's bipolar, but he's never super happy. Like, oh wow, I'm the most happiest guy on the planet, and I can't even get through a fucking day. Right? That's bipolar. I post fucking many videos online. How come I'm funny all the time, and how come I don't exist any bipolar characteristic? Then they're like, okay, well, wait a minute. We're going to say that he's schizoaffective disorder. You mean, oh, that's something that only typically women get? For a fucking man? Right? Women from 25 to 32 get schizoaffective disorder. Right? He changed his diagnosis. Right? From 5 years ago. So, well, once again, okay, he's a doctor. Okay, let's see. He's a doctor, right? And let me see. So he wasn't able to get his diagnosis correct the first time. So he came up with a new strategy. It's like, wow, you dumb motherfucker. It's like going to an eye doctor now. Be like, okay, well, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to give you these fucking glasses, motherfucker. Here's these glasses. Can you see? No, you can't see. Fuck you. I'm a doctor, right? You fucking take it dry. Right? And then 5 years later, it's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna give you a fucking new fucking prescription. Whatever I fucking feel like. Okay, well, women fucking have this kind of disorder, but just say you need these fucking glasses. You dumb motherfucker. If he was a qualified physician, how come he didn't get his diagnosis accurate the first time? How come he changed it? How come he changed it? It doesn't make sense. He's not competent. I posted a video, and he used this video against me. Imagine this. Saying, okay, it's 2025, right? So all the evidence that that half-sister Brandy Lee Slander presented was from 2024 or beforehand, 2019. So they're like, okay, we're gonna say that Smarticus has a mental health issue, and we're gonna use song lyrics against him. We're gonna use a video post that he posted as a joke from 2019. They're like, well, Christian thinks that he could stop cars with his mind. Right? He's fucking inept because I'll just show you. Well, like in the Neural Image magazine, I'll just show you right here. Neural Image magazine. If you could recognize sarcasm, it means you got a healthy mind. So obviously he couldn't. So Dr. Ogbonna doesn't have a healthy mind. So I'll just show you Neural Image magazine. Neural Image magazine. Neural Image magazine. Healthy mind, sarcasm, February 9th, 2024. 2024. Okay, let's see. A study published in Neuro magazine that reveals that recognizing sarcasm signals a healthy brain, and that sarcasm is a versatile tool, and it shows that you're fucking intelligent. But guess what? Like, okay, this is how, like, no offense to African people, but like, this is how he talks. Like, I'm just trying to offend one man, right? So, like, don't pull the black card. Be like, hey, wait, he's trying to, like, offend Puff Daddy, but I'm black. Because, guess what? I'm white. So when a white guy's offended, it's not like, hey, man, I'm fucking white. He offended me, too. So don't pull that card. Because you know what sucks? And when the Black Lives Matter happened, you know what happened when you're a white guy? You couldn't be like, hey, man, why is it Black Lives Matter? You can't be like, all lives matter. You know what happened? You're a fucking racist. You're white. You can't be like, oh, white lives matter. You're a fucking racist. You're white. You know what happened to me? I lived on Wellington Street. There's a black guy. He offered to give me fellatio, like to perform oral sex on me every day. He harassed me. He tried to get in my door. He was shaking my door. I called the police on him twice. He was a sexual predator. You know what happened? Not a fucking thing when I called the police. You know why? Because he had the trifecta for poor fucking me's. He's black and he's gay and he was disabled. He had fucking MS. Poor me versus a white guy. Fucking poor me. The guy would fucking go outside fucking naked. Right? Try to get in my room. Imagine, like, in the middle of the night, you're trying to sleep. You could hear your door being shook. If he wasn't crippled, wasn't crippled, I would have knocked the fuck out of him. Right? So anyways, they have a poor me excuse. Right? So once again, doctor, I don't know what my old doctor used to say to me. This is how he used to talk. Right? So that's how he talks. That's his accent, right? And once again, I'm a funny guy. Right? And I'm not offending all people. I'm just offending Dr. Ogbonna. Right? So don't be like, hey, man, I don't talk like that, but, my ancestors are from Africa, right? Fuck yous. I'm offending one individual, two people. Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, P. Diddy, same guy, and then Dr. Arbana, and then Brandy Lee Slander, Dr. Obaba, Dr. Obaba, Dr. Obaba, right? So anyways, Brandy Lee Slander, and so once again, so Dr. Arbana, he talks with a thick African accent, right? So when I got the request of the written reasons, like, okay, well, how come? Because at first, like in Canada, the mental health thing, like when you challenge the consent and capacity board, they all of a sudden they just show up to you and they're like, they give you a paper, and it's like, well, wait a minute, how come you never let me have my cell phone to show proof? Right? Okay, wow, that's strange. How come as a patient you can't request medical records while you're a patient? Wow, that's pretty strange. So you mean I can't sue them for medical malpractice because they don't let me have my cell phone most of the time? And I can't request medical proof that I was assessed and discharged by 2 different doctors that were Canadian trained? That refutes 1 African trained doctors? Right, so anyways, he had a thick accent, and not once did they say, or many times they didn't say, incomprehensible, but I speak perfect English. And you know what it'd say? I'd be like, hey, George Orwell wrote a book, 1984, about the thought police. You know what the written transcript said? George Orwell wrote a book, 1984, incomprehensible. And then it'd be like, oh, this is, see this picture here, this is Generation 1 biology, and see this picture here, this is, when I was about to say this is Generation 2 biology, they're like, incomprehensible. It'd be like, oh, this is the scar, this is what happened when they augment them, incomprehensible. How come every important fact, it said incomprehensible, and I speak perfect English? You don't need subtitles when I speak, but, you know, when I was a patient of Dr. Bonas, he'd be, and then, like, he intentionally would, like, you know, he would talk like this, right? And in the hearing, on the CCB hearing, he's talking with this thick fucking accent, and I could not understand him, right? And but when I talk to him normally, like his accent is nowhere near as thick as it was a couple years ago. It's like, wow, that's pretty suspicious. Like fucking now, like during the hearing, you're like, I am talking like I am straight from Africa. I just got off the fucking plane, right? So he'd be talking to me, and he'd be like saying all this shit. So I'm like, I'm just kind of like, okay, I'm just gonna fucking smile and nod because I don't know what the fuck you're saying, right? And then I look at the white guy, fucking this guy named Paul, and be like, what the fuck did he say, right? I kind of look like I needed to be fucking rescued from the ocean, right? I need someone to throw me a fucking life preserver, right? I'd be like, fucking throw me a life preserver. I don't have a fucking clue what this guy's saying, right? So fuck him. And Dr. O2, man, like, I hope you're alive because, you know what, there's no statute of limitations for people that rape people with rape suits and people that dream condition rape them, and then people that think they're their wives and all this shit, and people that, there's no statute of limitations for sexual assault, motherfuckers. Remember, everything you did to me, I know there's proof. I got proof. That's why it's called brain-computer interface. Why do you think you need my mind to do all this stuff? Like, you're idiots. Because once again, this is the guy that runs everything. Checkmate, motherfuckers. You thought you could set me up. You thought you'd be able to extort super funny guy? You mean the guy that could charm our panties right off? You know, because what they say, he made me laugh so much, my panties just came right off, and I was a 32-year-old hot vixen. That's what she looked like.